What's up? It's your girl Amber Lucero. For those of you that are coming back, welcome back, and thank you so much for coming to my channel again and showing me some love. It means the world to me. And I also wanted to say, if you're not already, to go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed for all upcoming videos. As for today, you guys, this is one has been coming in for a while, and it has to do with this little gorgeous baby, huh? Is that my gorgeous baby? So I literally wanted to record this, you guys. I really wanted to make sure that you guys were in every part of my labor and delivery, and I literally got everything packed and put it in the bag so that I would have it there when we were, getting everything ready. But literally this pregnancy went so freaking fast, and labor and delivery was like a blink of an eye, and boom, he came out. So I have to do a story time because I did not have any time, and my husband being nervous and the whole thing, and I just don't think that he could have recorded it because he wouldn't know exactly what to record or how to expect it or anything like that. So I think it's just easier for me to do story time because I didn't have the time. I wish I did, but I didn't. Go ahead and start this video, you guys. I literally want to talk about the whole pregnancy, or not pregnancy, the whole labor, of how it started and everything, because oh my god, you guys, it literally went so freaking fast. It's so unbelievable on how the women's bodies can take things and process things. It's just so amazing. So on September 26th, when this little handsome dude was born, puppy, when you were born on September 26th, I woke up in the morning, you guys, and I felt like I woke up and I went to the bathroom. It's the normal routines and everything that you guys go through, So I woke up and I can literally feel his head all the way in my vaginal area. It was, oh my god, so unbelievable. I can just feel it. I was like, what the heck, but nothing abnormal was happening. I can still, I feel like everything was fine. I didn't have contractions. I didn't have anything that was bothering me. I wasn't in pain. Nothing. I can just feel pressure literally in my vaginal area, a lot of pressure. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to turn to the other side because, he does like to move around. And with him liking to move around and everything like that, it's just probably something, it's maybe just something there, Maybe I'm about to get Braxton Hicks or something like that. And so I literally turned to the other side. And as I turned to that other side, I literally start getting sharp pains. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, that's weird, And I was like, is this labor? Is this not? And it's so hard. I don't know if anybody has ever experienced this as well, but I feel like Braxton Hicks and contractions are very, very similar. It's just they're different, the timing that they come. But I feel like they still feel the same. Except when the contractions start coming really, really bad, then it hurts. But I was able to, during my pregnancy, I was having a lot of Braxton Hicks. So I couldn't tell if it was, just me having that again. So I was like, no, I'm just going to let it go away. Y luego then I got up and I was like, I started having them every 10 minutes. And then after every 10 minutes, they started going down every 5 minutes, And after I got to the 5 minutes, I was like, I'm gonna go to the restroom, I'm starting to monitor them. Everything seems like it's starting to process up and everything's starting to go through, So then I went to the restroom, and literally the exact same thing happened that happened to Oscarito. Is I went to the bathroom, and when I went to the restroom, literally blood came out, and I came out. I'm like, I know it's time. I definitely know that it's time. Are you getting excited, huh, Bobby? Are you getting excited también? Is that you want to know how you came out, huh? You want to know the story too? Yes, you want to know the story. Look at the handsome baby. Oh my goodness. He's so handsome. Look at my love. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, we're gonna take this moment to embrace them because oh my god, I love my baby. Love you. I love this little cacheton. But seriously, after that I called the doctor and she's like, yeah, I head to the hospital, and at the hospital, you'll have everything ready, you just got to get checked in and then go from there. And I was like, oh my god, I'm freaking out. Like this is crazy, you know, like I can't believe this is about to happen. Like you carry a baby for 9 months and then you're like sitting there like imagining like, oh my god, like what is next going to be happening? Well, you kind of have an idea because obviously I have a 10-year-old, so I went through this before, but it's been so long, so it's like trying to reprocess everything. And I was younger when this happened, so I feel like once you get I feel like once you get older, it's like things come at you in a different perspective, in a different way of things, you know. So I was just like, I gotta get through this, you know. So I already had everything packed away in our suitcases and everything, the baby stuff, my stuff. My husband didn't want to take anything because it's like hey, because we're only 5 minutes away. He's like, I can just go to the house if I need to. Oh, y a poco sí, papa. A poco sí, chiquitito. And so literally I already had everything packed, so the only thing I had to do was change and then get into the car and then head over there, you know. So I was like, okay. And while we were driving, you guys, I literally did not have like any like contractions or anything like that. And if they were very minimal and they weren't bothering me at anything. So I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be a false one, but at least if I go in, they can tell me to go home. Oh, it's because you're getting too excited over here, mister. You like to be on camera, huh? Yes, you do. Yes. What do you want to say? What do you want to tell the people? Say hi. Oh my goodness. I had to stop. I had to go get my son a bottle because he started crying. Yes, you know how that goes. So where I left off was literally, we got to the hospital. They checked us in. The lady was like, hey, do you want a wheelchair? And I was like, no, I think I'm good, you know, because I wasn't really having pains or anything like that. I was feeling okay. So I start walking, we get into the elevator, and the moment we hit the labor and delivery, tell me why, I started having the worst fucking pains of my entire life. I'm serious, you guys. I was seriously like this, like, oh my god, I can't do with this, like, you know, I was like in so much pain. And then we get into the room and the lady's like, I need you to undress, and then, you know, once you're undressed, and then go ahead. And I'm like sitting there, you guys, I'm fucking dying. I'm like, oh my god, like this is so painful. And then like a couple minutes later, it just went away. And then I was like, okay. So then I literally went into the bathroom, I changed really fast, and it was like, oh my god. And then I came out of the room on the bed, you know, so that I can be comfortable, we can get this process going and like get through this, you know. And honestly, you guys, if I go back to the time that I gave birth with my son, I feel like I was just like things went so much different. And I also got an epidural, so I feel like I didn't feel as much pain as like this one. And so it was just crazy. And I guess, like, you know, like I already went through the big majority of like through most of my pregnancy while I was at home. And going through, like, I think my Braxton Hicks and stuff, I think I mistaked them as Braxton Hicks, and they were actually me going through active labor. But I was just already so, like, used of going through that it didn't even bother me, you know. So getting to the hospital, I finally got undressed, and then I got into the gown that they gave me, and I was still having the pains, you know, but I wasn't as like the other one that I had. That was a very sharp one. Right when I got in there, it went down, and I was able to lay on the bed, and everything was fine. And then that's when the nurse came in, and she was like, hey, you know, I wanted to talk to you about if you wanted to get an epidural, you know, like, because if you're going to get an epidural, I would highly recommend that you get it now, if you're going to do it. And I was like, well, in my head, I just imagined with this one that I was going to do a natural, and we'll try to get as far as I can natural, because I do remember it being painful before I got an epidural with my son, and I think it was just a point in there. But this one was already further down, you know. So she was like, you know, that's fine. She's like, you can go natural, or we can do the epidural. And I'm like, no, I want to kind of go, you know, I want to wait to see how long it's going to take for me to need an actual epidural, you know. I was thinking in my head, like, I'm gonna be here for like 5 more hours or whatever, you know. Like, that's the way that my head was processing. So I started having like all of the symptoms and everything, and when I knew I needed to go to the hospital about 4:59, we got to the hospital at 6. And then everything started going on, you guys. Like, the nurse went in, and since I was wanting to do like the natural stuff, she started bringing stuff in. Like, there was a ball, there was like some stuff that she was putting underneath my legs, and then she was like talking to me about all this stuff, showing me how to do breathing exercises. Like, she was wonderful, you guys. Like, the hospital that I was at literally was so freaking amazing. All the people were so amazing inside, the doctors and nurses, when they had a switch and everything. Like, everything was so amazing. Highly recommend, 100%. It was perfect. And so I was just like, oh my god, you know. And then after that, I was like, okay, you know, time was going. The doctor went back in, and I don't even remember honestly what time it was, you guys. I just remember she checked, and I was already, no, let's rewind a little bit back. After the nurse had gave me like all the stuff to put underneath, I literally felt like it was like within an hour or even less. It felt like it went so fast, you guys. I started getting the worst freaking contractions that you could ever think of. Like, these freaking contractions were so freaking bad. I remember them being so bad. Like, I remember I was in so much pain that the only thing that I can focus on was trying to get those pains to go away. Like, I'm like, usually I can tolerate pain. It's because you think of it, you're like, oh, you know, like, it's the pain. It's like stubbing your foot and then knowing that the pain is gonna go away after you don't think about it. You know what I mean? But this is nothing like that. Like, nothing. This is like stubbing your toe and that pain lasting consistently in the entire time. I knew that was the moment. Literally, that was the moment that the doctor came in, and she was like, it wasn't my normal doctor, because I guess that it just depends on whoever was there. But I did meet all the doctors, so I did know who she was when she came in. And she's like, I need to check to see how many centimeters and everything you are. And I was already going through the contractions, you guys, and I'm telling you, these, oh my god, going through natural birth and literally feeling every part of your body go through the changes of being able to deliver this baby is freaking unbelievable, but yet so painful. It was so painful. It was so painful. And so I was just like, okay, you know, I told her, I was like, it's fine. She needed a check, you know. So obviously I'm already on the bed. You just have to, like, she uncovers, and then it even hurts worse because they have to stick their hand in and see how many centimeters you are. And she's like, okay, you're 7 centimeters. And it was like, I don't even remember what time it was. I feel like it was 9 o'clock, but like, let's get this, it's 9 o'clock, and at 9:10 my son was born. So I literally felt like it happened so fast. I don't even know what happened. I feel like I was trying to process stuff, and it just went so fast. Like, I was like, holy shit, you know. So from 6 to freaking 9 o'clock, you guys, within that time, I had went from all the way to 7 centimeters. So I was like, oh my god. And then after, when she had checked, you guys, I don't know if she like triggered something or what the hell had happened, but tell me, you guys, like, this fucking pain was so extraordinary and so freaking painful that, like, I felt like I was, oh my god, like dying or something. Like, I hurt so bad, and you can, like I told you, it's like stubbing your foot and never stopping, like that kind of pain. But even worse than that, it was so freaking painful. And I was just holding, my husband said he had his hand out so that I can hold his hand, but you guys, I don't even know what's going on. The doctors were trying to talk to me, and I was just trying to deal with this pain. I don't even know what's going on. My husband said I yelled at one of them and was like, do whatever you want to, I don't care. But I was in so much pain, I don't even know what was going on. I was trying to focus on getting this pain gone. And the only thing that I can do every single time was hold on to that freaking railing and just hold it as tight as I can. And just hold it. I was holding it so, like, oh my god, I'm holding it, never letting it go until the freaking contractions went away. And I was like, oh my god, this is so painful, you know. And I finally came to a point within that night, from the 9 o'clock after she had checked, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to put the epidural. You need to call somebody to get her in the epidural right now, because I can't take this pain anymore. And I, like, if I can really deal with this, I don't even think I'm gonna be able to push him out. Like, I need an epidural right now. And then literally right when I said that, you guys, I felt him drop, like drop. And it's weird because you feel a drop and it feels like it's opening and contracting at the same time. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but you feel a big drop down and you feel like if everything's starting to work and like open up so that the baby can come out. And I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, he's dropped, I'm gonna have to, I felt like I needed to push. I'm like, I need to push, like I want to push. And then she's like, and the same thing happened with my son. It's like everything all repetitive, except this time more natural, you know. And she was like, she's like, well, let me look again. And she looked again, and you guys, I was already 10 centimeters. And when I was like, I need the epidural now, I need it, she's like, Amber, it's too late. Like, you can't anymore, because the baby's gonna come right now. You have to deliver this baby right now. Like, you don't have a choice. And I freaking, like, the moment that she told me that, the doctor, I looked at her, and then something like stuck in my body, and I freaking panicked, you guys. Like, I was like, I can't do this, I don't think I can do this, like, oh my god. And the nurse, she looked at me, and she was so sweet. She looked at me, she's like, Amber, you need to do this. You are going to do this. I am here, and I'm going to guide you, and I'm going to help you breathe through this. We will tell you what to do and how to be able to deliver this baby, but you're going to have to do this right now with no epidural, and you're going to give this baby natural. And I looked at her, and I was like, fuck, like, she is right. Like, I have no choice. I have to push him out, you know, like, I have to get him out. And so I was just like, oh my god. She's like, when we tell you to put, and then she like pulled my freaking, like, my legs up, and she held one side and my husband held one side. When they pulled my legs up, like, I felt him dropping further and further. Like, oh my god, it was so painful, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just like, I've never, like, I can't deal with this pain. It's so extraordinary. It hurts so freaking bad. And I'm just like, at this point, you guys, I think I'm screaming, because I literally am in so much pain, like, with them holding my legs up and him dropping down further, and then going through the contractions and not being able to actually breathe, because I wanted to hold on to something and, like, hopefully try to get it away, and not. And she's like, okay, well, when you have a contractions, that's when you're gonna push. And I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how am I gonna push when I have a contractions? Like, I can barely even breathe through this. And I was like, oh my god. We literally, I'm like praying. I'm like, God, please, like, please get me through this safe, and make sure that everything is okay, because I'm freaking out. Like, I am like, Mom, just be watching over me, make sure everything is okay. Like, oh my god, I started getting all scared and everything. Like, I could literally picture myself literally right there, like, if it happened like yesterday. Like, I can picture everything, like everything. And so literally I got another contraction right then after, like, really fast. And then she's like, you need to push. And I'm like pushing as hard as I just went, ugh, like, it's like you're taking a big dump, you guys, like a big dump. Like, if it's stuck, like, you gotta push it out, and it's stuck, and it just goes back in and comes back out. Like, you are pushing as hard as you can, you know. And then she was like, push, and then she's like, stop. And then my husband's like, push again. And I was like, and she's like, no, don't push yet, you only do at my command. And then my husband's like, oh. And then I was like, do you want me to push now or no? She's like, no, just when I tell you to push, when it comes, waiting for the next contractions. And so literally with all the contractions and everything that were going on, I'm like, okay, you know, I can do this, everything's gonna be fine. So, and then the weirdest thing though is, I gotta tell you, when I went to the second time trying to push, I realized that I got a lot of relief. Like, I felt the most relief and I didn't feel like I had any pain. I felt like I felt normal. And so I was just like, oh my God, I'm just gonna push, because that's the time that I don't feel any pain, and that's when I feel okay. And I know that when I'm pushing, he's just gonna come out, and then I'm gonna feel a little bit relief, you know. So I was just like, I'm gonna push as hard as I can, and I'm just gonna push as hard as I can. And so you guys, literally three pushes, okay, I tell you this, 3 pushes, you guys, and he came out. I was not joking around, and neither was he. Like, it's like, yeah. I am so glad that it was not one of those girls that had to sit there for hours trying to push. It took me 3 times to push, and he was out. Oh my God, the 3 best pushes of my life. I'm serious, because I felt like so much relief after. It was so painful. Natural birth is so freaking painful. At least, like, you know, like with my son, with Oscar, I didn't even have, like, I had the epidural, and I felt like when I was giving the birth, like, I didn't really feel as much as I did, as much as pain as I did with the natural birth. So the epidural, I said that wrong. I didn't feel as much pain with the epidural as all the pain that I had with the natural birth. That's what I meant to say. But it was so painful. And literally, like, the moment he came out, you know how it's like they come out and it's like that moment that you're waiting for, like, you just want to hear them cry. You want to make sure everything's okay. And he had so much hair. The only thing that I seen was like dark black hair, full. Like, he had so much hair come out. I was like, oh my God. And I just want to hear him cry, because that's the one thing you listen for. You're like, is everything okay, you know? And then I just hear him like, you know, oh my God. And it just melted my heart. And like, they put him on my chest, you guys, and he was already, his eyes were open. Like, I'm like, oh my God, he's already awake. Like, he's looking at me. He already wants to see his mommy and daddy. Like, he's ready to be up, you know. And they were like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Like, you know, kids usually take a little bit for them to open their eyes, at least after, like, when they've given birth. But he came out, like, I see, like, he just wanted to see everything. He's like, I'm ready for this world, bring it on. So he put on my chest, and I started crying. And I'm literally, the nurse, she was so sweet. Like I tell you guys, so sweet. She's like, do you guys want me to take you guys some pictures and everything? And I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. But she's taking pictures, and at the same time, they're literally pushing my, you know, the placenta out. And so, as you know, having your placenta pushed out as well, it hurts. And so it's just another time of going through a little bit of hurt of them trying to push it out, because they're literally just pushing on your stomach to get it out, and then it just finally comes out, and then you're relieved. One good thing about this whole pregnancy is that I didn't tear. With my son, I teared 5. I had 5 stitches. And this one, I only needed 1. And she said I didn't even need 1, but she still put it there because there was a little bit of piece on there like that. But it didn't hurt. And with that being said, having him natural, I felt like the whole entire experience of being able to heal and get through everything was so much faster and so much easier. So I highly recommend on that page, because I feel like after getting an epidural with my son, the healing process was a lot longer. I felt like it lasted around 2 to 4 weeks for me to heal. And then during that process, I did get an infection and had to be on antibiotic. And when I was nursing and trying to get my son to do everything that he needed to do and being awake and stuff like that, walking around, it was so hard. So with my son, Oscarito, that's what that happened with the epidural. And with Ismael, it was a lot. Like, the next day I was able to, like, get up, walk around. Like, literally right after I felt like I was able to walk around, I was just so exhausted. I was like, you know, everybody was coming to visit us and everything. But I'm telling you, like, natural is super like easy for your body to heal after, and you are perfectly fine after. So I would recommend that, you know, definitely an epidural is a good thing to go to. I mean, you literally have to experience the chance of being able to go through natural birth and being able to experience what it is like to give birth to your child, and experience of how your body works when giving birth and how it like goes through each process, because during that process you're gonna feel every single thing. You are gonna feel it all, and it's gonna freaking hurt, and there's gonna be times when you have to scream, and you're going to scream, and things are just gonna, like, you're gonna feel like you can't do it. Like, that's part of the beauty of pregnancy and giving birth and everything. So it was a really good experience for me to experience that. But epidural is so much less painful, and it is so much easier to go to that process, because it does not hurt at all. Actually it does if you're giving natural. So it has like its ups and downs. There's like the pros for an epidural is that you don't feel like giving birth, but then your time period, your post-op after, is what takes longer. Giving it natural, you deal with so much freaking pain and everything else. I kind of think it levels each other out, I guess, in a certain different way, but it's kind of how you do in your perspective and everything like that. But it was awesome, you guys. And I this experience, I wish I would have recorded it, but with how fast everything went, I just didn't have enough time. It went way too fast. We went in, I started having contractions at 4:59. Everything went in, we went into hospital, got there at 6. Everything sped up. My son was born at 9:10. And the birth certificate says 9:08, but I could have sworn that it was 9:10. I don't know why it said that, but okay. I feel like but yes, like, it was amazing. I'm so excited just to be a mom, you guys, and be a mom to 2 beautiful boys. Like, my 2 boys are my roles, and Oscarito is the best, biggest brother ever. I think that throughout my pregnancy, it was super, super important for me to make sure that he understood and knew that no matter what, or if there was a baby here, that he was still going to be a big part of my life. And I wanted this to be a big surprise and big and wonderful gift to him as well. Like, I wanted him to experience the amount of love and stuff that we would have, so that he can be able to give that to his brother. And I think with me going through that throughout my entire pregnancy, and reminding him and talking to him, and just always talking about his brother and what we can do and the things like that, like, made him love his brother so much more and want to help. Like, he helps out so much, and he, like, literally is there for everything. He loves his brother so much. Like, he takes care of him, you guys. He changes his diapers. Like, he freaking will pick him up. He's like another little mom. Like, I'm so serious. Like, sometimes I'm like, mijo, yeah, you have to leave him alone. You have to let him sleep, But he always wants to be there with him. Like, he's the best, biggest brother ever there is. Thing that I definitely want to talk about with you guys too, because I know my son is so excited, and Oscarito, for like the rest of his life, he is going to remember this, and he's excited about this, because I like a lot of things of the similarities of what him and Ismael had are very awesome, and I think that he's always going to cherish that, because it meant the most to everything, you guys. Like, it was so freaking adorable, because he drew us a picture, and it had the 2 dogs. It had me, my husband, Oscarito, and then it had Ismael in the picture. It was so beautiful. Like, I will keep that picture forever, and like, it just meant like everything to me. Like, it was so adorable. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe you did this, like, it was just beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful. But I want to say, so Oscarito and Ismael were both born on their exact due date. So I mean, when I say exact due date, it's the day that the doctors told me that I would be giving birth. They were born on that exact due date, which is so weird, because it doesn't happen. Usually they give us a time period, and it could be within or 2 weeks after. And mine have been exactly on the due date. And the crazy thing is that I was supposed to be induced on the 26th at 7 o'clock, and I did it natural, which was totally great. And I'm so glad that I actually went in, like, my body went in natural. And so Oscarito keeps that in, because they were born on their exact dates, their exact due date. And then another thing is, Oscarito was 7 pounds 15 ounces. Ismael was 7 pounds 14 ounces. Ismael was 21 inches. Oscarito was 20 inches. And then how did my husband had said this? There was something that was like 10-year difference. It was a 10-year difference between his dad, my husband, or he had said something. So my son and Ismael, my two sons are 10 years apart, away from each other. And then it was, I can't remember, but there was something that led from my husband and his dad, and then Oscarito, and then also my husband. Can't remember what it was, but it's something very similar. I don't remember what it was, but it's something very similar. And so I literally told him that, and you guys, like, he was so happy. He was telling everybody about it. He was talking about it. And still to this day, it's something that means the most to him. And, you know, that's why I say in this process, I made sure that Oscarito was part of it. It meant the world for him to be part of it. And, you know, Ismael is going to grow up and have the biggest brother in the entire world, because Oscarito is the best brother, and Ismael is my little baby now. You guys seen him? His check this, they're so cute. He's like little he's Oscarito's twin. Like, I'm serious, Oscarito looked exactly the same. The only difference is that his cheeks are so much bigger. Like in the stage, I feel like he was like not letting anybody touch him, or like, you know, like everybody who's watching, everybody holds Ismael and all that stuff. It was so funny. But yes, like, Ismael has so many people who love and care about him, and the amount of people that came to visit us and be there for us, like, you have no idea how much that means to us. Who brought us food, who would like just came to the house and were like, you know, rest and do this. Like, literally, like, to all my friends, to all of our family, like my husband's family, like, it meant so much to us. And for you guys to be part of this experience with us is amazing. And I'm just so excited about this, like, whole journey of being a mom. Now I'm super busy, very busy, but you know, I wouldn't change this for anything. And every single day I'm just count my blessings, and I am very thankful for everything. Really funny story as well is that I used to tell my husband, I'm like, watch, what if he comes out and he's like a crazy baby, you know? Because I expected the worst, because my son, so Oscarito, the bigger one, he was a crazy child. You know, he just kept me up in the nighttime, and sometimes he would cry and I didn't know why he was crying, and I always had to carry him. Like, it was just a lot of more work, you know? So no matter, you never know how your child's gonna be. You go with it, you know? That's part of nature, and that's part of the moms, you know? We just go with whatever we have to go through. And when Ismael was born, you guys, like, he was so quiet. Like, I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't know. My husband's like, I was really calm when I was baby. He's gonna be just like me. And I'm like, you don't know. when he came out, he's like, Bess, I told you. And I'm like, oh, sí, pues sí. Yeah. But he was like, literally the first night, he would have slept the entire night if I would have let him. But you know, we have to wake him up every 2 hours. But the doctor is like, no, you can let him sleep every 4 hours if you can, but just try. And then I was trying to nurse, but I mean, his palate was high, so it was really hard for him to latch. So I tried the shields, and it was just really hard, and you have to like use this stuff to try to get it out. And so I felt like he was starving a little bit, but it was really hard. And then so they were asking me that day, they're like, do you want to go home or do you want to stay here another night? And I'm just like, I think I'm ready to go home. Like, I just want to, you know, it's nice to be in the hospital because they definitely baby you and you get unlimited food, free food. You don't have to make food, you don't got to do anything. It just comes straight to you. You call and then ding, there it is, you know. But I was like, no, I'm ready to go. I'm just really exhausted and ready to get everything the way that it was at home, and just, you know, be prepared for everything. And I was like, well, you know, if I'm not able to breastfeed, at least I'm going to pump. Like, I'm going to try to pump and see if I can get my milk supply up. And then if I can just create enough milk and give him it through that way, that's it'll be fine. So literally right when I got home, I started pumping, you guys. Like, that, it was a goal of mine to get done. And literally, I don't breastfeed now, but I give 100% breast milk to my son. So I can also do a video on that, on like my entire experience of how I keep up with it and how everything has worked out for me, if you guys are interested. So if you are interested, you know, leave a note or a message down below and say yes, do a video on how you got your milk supply up, and I definitely will do a video on that. But yes, you guys, I really hope that you guys love this video. Or not, also make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. And as well as thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys got a little view of how everything went with this natural birth. And I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to tell you the truth and how it went through. And it was painful, and tell you it is painful. It definitely is painful. Painful. Pero no, I just wanted to, I hope you guys like this video and you guys have a wonderful day and y échele ganas. Besitos.